Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who had long golden hair, and for this reason, everyone called her Goldilocks. Goldilocks lived with her mother in a tiny little house at the edge of the forest. One day, she said to her mom, "Mama, I'm going for a walk, and I'll bring back a beautiful bunch of flowers picked especially for you." "That would be nice, Goldilocks, but be careful not to go too far. You might get lost," her mother warned. Goldilocks hugged her mother, hung her basket on her arm, and went off. She began by picking some big, beautiful white daisies. Then, a little farther on, there were some blue cornflowers. Then farther still, there were glorious red poppies. As she ran from flower to flower, Goldilocks began to lose all sense of time. She soon became tired and began to feel very hungry and thirsty. Fortunately, she saw a little house among the trees and walked up to the door. She looked through the keyhole, and as she couldn't see anyone inside, she pushed open the door and walked right in. Inside, there was a big table laid with 3 bowls full of honey and rice. It smelled delicious. There was a big bowl, a middle-sized bowl, and a little bowl. Around the table, there stood 3 chairs that looked very comfortable. There was a big armchair, a middle-sized chair, and a little chair. Goldilocks sat down in the big armchair, but it was too hard and she felt uncomfortable. She tried the middle-sized chair, but the cushion was too soft and she slid around on it. Finally, she sat down on the little chair, but she was too heavy. The legs broke underneath her and plop, she fell on the floor. Feeling hungry, she decided to taste the rice and honey pudding. She took a spoonful from the big bowl, but it was too hot and she burned her tongue. She tried the middle-sized bowl, but it was too lumpy. At last, she tasted the little tiny bowl, and wow, the honey and rice were absolutely delicious, and Goldilocks gobbled up every last drop. As she was very tired now, Goldilocks felt like having a little nap. She went upstairs to the bedroom where she found 3 beds. There was a big bed, a middle-sized bed, and a little bed. She tried the big bed, but it was too hard and rather uncomfortable. She tried a middle-sized bed, but the blankets were scratchy and she could not go to sleep. She lay down in the tiny bed, and as it was so cozy and warm, she fell asleep right away. Meanwhile, the family of bears who lived in this house arrived home after their walk. As soon as they opened the door, they could smell that someone had been inside, and they began to search the rooms, sniffing everywhere.
"Someone has been sitting on my chair," exclaimed Daddy Bear in his big, deep voice.
"Someone has touched my cushion," cried Mommy Bear in her gentle voice. "Look, Mommy, look, Daddy, my chair is broken," said Baby Bear in his little voice, and he burst into tears. Then the bears inspected the table.
"Someone has licked my spoon,"
growled Daddy Bear in his big, deep voice. "Someone has touched my bowl," said Mommy Bear in her gentle voice. "Look, Mommy, look, Daddy, someone has eaten up all my rice and there's nothing left," cried Baby Bear, and tears rolled down his cute little snout. Then the bears went upstairs. Daddy Bear sniffed and growled in his deep voice,
"Someone has been lying on my pillow."
Someone has moved my blankets, said Mommy Bear quietly. Look, Mommy, look, Daddy. There's a little girl asleep in my bed, shouted Baby Bear in surprise. When Goldilocks heard the voices, she woke up. Seeing the three bears leaning over her, she was very frightened. She jumped quickly out of bed, leaped through the window, and ran off into the forest. She ran home as fast as her legs could carry her, without looking back even once. And the bears never saw Goldilocks in the forest ever again. The end.